Self-love is truly a journey, and there's multiple layers to it. And I kind of want to just share where I'm at and how I've evolved my conception of self-love. So I think we all, as a society, I've seen so many examples of how people are getting better with, nurturing themselves, thinking positively, being more healthy, exercising, being more mindful of the people they surround themselves with. Those are all a normative basis of self-love when it comes to nurturing and being kind. But something I'm discovering through my creative journey and just my journey in general, and being still so deep in the unknown and trying to be comfortable in the unknown, is that the ultimate level of self-love is unconditional love for yourself. So despite your mistakes, despite where you might be at in your life, despite, how you feel you have created different illusions or failed relationships, or career changes that you didn't expect, financial difficulties, or just how long it's taken you to progress with a goal or, to achieve a dream. A lot of times, because of our societal conditioning of what success, wealth, and good living looks like, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to achieve these false sense of reality, when in turn self-love isn't when we have achieved all of those things or gained all of those things, when we can finally relax and be like, okay, I really like myself now, and I really like my life like this. Everything looks so much better. It really comes from being in the most difficult circumstances and those challenges that really test your faith and your devotion to yourself. That is when you really have to unearth that unconditional self-love and say that regardless of A, B, and C, it's okay that I'm where I'm at right now. It's okay that my life looks the way that it does. I still love myself externally, internally. I still value myself. I still know that my self-worth is high because I am who I am, And this is something that I am coming to a deeper space with in my own journey, because I'm currently in a situation right now where initially for me it felt like, what the fuck is happening? I thought I made it through these obstacles, but it feels like I'm still repeating the same lessons, and I just didn't get it, because I'm very productive and committed to healthy living and achieving goals and just evolving spiritually and making sure my life is aligned with what I want for myself. So when I found myself in this current situation, I was so confused. I was really angry. I had a lot of resentment because I felt like, I was putting all this energy into the right things. Like, these circumstances shouldn't be what they are. And another thing that I had to realize is that even though we are doing the right things and taking good actions and having positive thoughts, sometimes a part of our journey is just a really difficult situation that we just never expected. And those are the parts of our journey that really test us the most, but also I think are opportunities for us to expand unconditional love for ourselves and unconditional gratitude for our lives, because it's so easy to condemn our lives when circumstances aren't our idea, and it's so easy to be hard and unkind to ourselves if things aren't turning out the way that we want them to. And this lesson for me has just been really, I don't know, when I realized that that was the true reason of why I'm in this situation, and that if I can't have unconditional love for myself at the worst of times, then what will it even mean once I have everything that I want and I'm where I want to be? Because think about the celebrities, or just, high profile people, or just people in general who achieve a really big goal, but they still don't feel a true sense of fulfillment and internal joy. And a lot of that could be trauma, of course, but another layer of it is that they thought they would love themselves more after they received all the external validation. They thought that they would be accepted in a different way. And so they placed all of these conditions on their worth and their sense of self-love for themselves, or their sense of self-love. But they placed all of these conditions, and when, you achieve all of that and you find that you still feel the same way, it's because you still haven't gained that sense of unconditional self-worth in any circumstance or position that you may be at in life. And that's why when you may find that things are stagnant in your life, or you're not making progress, it is the biggest blessing ever, because if you can learn unconditional self-love in those times, if you can find joy, peace, and gratitude in those moments, you will be set up better for when your circumstances do change. And when all of those big, goals or blessings that, you've been working towards come into your life, you will not only be able to appreciate them and, truly experience them for what they are, but you will have more internal balance and a true sense of joy, because without those things, you still loved yourself unconditionally. And that is true spiritual power. And, it's funny. When I started my YouTube channel, my intention was to find a way to promote my other, creative endeavors. And, I've worked at a news station, and I started my high school newspaper, so doing this kind of work isn't super foreign to me, and I studied film, so I truly do enjoy this kind of work. But the way that it's challenged me spiritually is so unexpected. It's made me realize that, my confidence isn't where I thought it was. My sense of self-worth, I was still seeking validation, because I wanted to prove to everybody that, artistically and me as a person, I am worthy. And now it's like also realizing that if things don't go the way I expect, or maybe this project is just all about me healing these aspects of myself and developing spiritually, maybe it has nothing to do with my career. And a year from now, and I could be doing something completely different, but this has given me, growth and skill sets. And that's what we don't know about our journeys. And that's the kind of stuff that we can't control. And that's when we really need to let go and just, allow an experience to be what it is, and not place all of these, idea outcomes onto it, because you never know. But if I can truly just let go and appreciate everything that's unfolding right now, I'm going to have less resistance, less stress, less confusion, less disappointment, and a sudden alteration in that I didn't see coming in my life, or all of this work that I feel like I've put into this, I won't feel like it's not worth it or that it was a waste of time, because it's still given me something at the end of the day. And if it doesn't become what I want it to be, it's not a reflection of my worth or value in this society. It's not a reflection of, how much I should see myself as being accepted in this world, and this is just something that, another layer of what I'm experiencing while doing YouTube. So it's kind of profound. And, I woke up today, I was really pissed off because the last video that I posted wasn't performing as well as I wanted it to. And I feel like all of my progress has been so minuscule compared to the amount of effort that I'm putting in. So I just woke up feeling frustrated. And I've been reading Joe Dispenza's book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. So I was like, okay, let's shift our perspective and let's not think in these negative emotions, but let's think in this version of me that sees things differently and that's, taking different behaviors based on my circumstances. And that was really difficult at first. And I realized that, at the root of all of this is that I wasn't loving myself unconditionally. And I had all of this fear that, this project wouldn't become anything. And, I would be looked at in a certain way. And if I couldn't, affect this kind of change or progress in my life, what did that say about me? And could I still look at myself the same? Could I still love myself the same? And there it was, if I love myself unconditionally, I can fuck up as much as I want to. I can have as many failed projects. It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, there's so much value in still just trying and learning and growing and taking risk in your life. And if I can just see beyond, the current results of where I'm at, so much more could unfold for me. But that unconditional self-love, the root of all healing, I tell you, it brings you back to a state of peace where you can say, it's okay. It's okay if this completely doesn't evolve in the way that I expect it to. Clearly I'm getting something from this, because I would not have been challenged in this way before. And it's funny, I've had success with creative projects before. I've had progress that I never expected. And when I was, really focused on my music and performing, opportunities would come so quickly and so effortlessly. And I think a lot of that was tied because, I really didn't have this huge goal when it came to it. But a lot of it too was just that I was in a space in my life where I didn't feel like my security was threatened. I didn't feel like the world was gonna, fall underneath me if I didn't achieve this goal or have this progress. I had this more unconditional sense of self, but I also was just performing locally, and I hadn't really put myself out there in the way that I am on YouTube. So my sense of self and my confidence, all of that wasn't as challenged as I feel that it has been in the past year. And I think that foundation that I had built from, performing and doing all my other artistic things prior to all of this really crumbled. And now I'm rebuilding on this unconditional love that really says that regardless of how any of this turns out, I love myself, I accept myself, I see myself as successful. And at the end of the day, that is the most valuable thing. And it'll carry you through life no matter what is happening. And so for anyone out there struggling with their self-love journey, I hope that this video is useful. And I hope that you know you're not alone. And I hope that you also understand a lot of this is due to societal conditioning. But sleepyheads, that's all I have for this episode. I hope you have a good night, and we'll talk soon.